Last year, he starts in the 17th starting spot. Dylan McCowan on the outside, and you see the rest of the starting lineup there on your screen. 27 cars set to go 100 laps here tonight. Well, James, the field is beginning to take shape now over in turns 3 and 4 in what we like to call one of the prettiest sights in all of racing. Double checkered flags in hand from Rob Penrod. This is a salute to you, the greatest race fans in the entire world. Let's start on the back straightaway tonight. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? The Show Me 100 coming at you 4 wide. Well done, back straightaway, well done. All right, front stretch, let's hear you. It's the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series coming at you 4 wide.
Memorial Day tradition since 1993. Donald Billy Gibson down in West Plains, Missouri. Billy Moyer won the very first one. This is awesome.
How about hotter fireworks?
Yeah.
I mean,
they almost blew our windows out of right. Sean Hodder.
Cinch your hair, James.
Sean Howder. It's Howder. Sean Howder.
Howder or Hodder? He said either one.
He's hotter after that one because
we all are.
We're doing some fireballs here tonight.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Roger Slack would be proud, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Father of scrambles.
I mean, we may need to let the smoke clear now.
And not Tony Stewart.
That's right.
We will see in a few weeks. He may win another NHRA drag race before we get to Eldor in a few weeks. Congratulations to him.
You smell that? That's the smell of singed eyebrows right there.
I'm sure River the dog may not be happy about those.
Oh, no, dogs definitely
Who's going
not
to eat
happy with that.
confetti in Victory Lane? Will it be River the dog or the Thornton kids?
I don't know. It could be someone. Jonathan Davenport may have a big piece of it down in Victory Lane.
His son Blaine's here. Good to see Blaine here. How about Brandon Shepherd's never won this race? Mark Richards has never won this race. Carson Ferguson. How about Donald Bratcher? Donald and Gina Bratcher. Would this be huge for them in that 93?
Absolutely great to see them here in the
Roger
pit area as well.
Sellers, he's here. That will be our next race at Smoky Mountain. They're got $75,000 to win.
And with $75,000, James, an opportunity for not only a first Show Me 100 win for some drivers, but also an opportunity for the biggest career payday for some drivers as well. Now that this thing pays $75 grand. Driver's going to get a couple laps just to buzz this racetrack. And when I say a couple, I actually mean about a lap and a half. This thing's good to go.
Hey, it rained all night. I mean, I was, I'm 2 miles.
There was a lake outside of our house.
And it rained from last night all the way, I don't know, 10 o'clock this morning. Then the sun come out. Great crowd has come on hand here. And I hope we've seen 2 really good races the last 2 nights. Can we do 100 laps here? And you've got a front row of Hudson O'Neill and Ricky Thornton Jr., Jonathan Davenport, Devin Moran, Brandon Shepherd, Carson Ferguson. 12 races this year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, paid $50,000 or more to win. We've already had one at Eagle last week, won by RTJ. It's going to pay a $50,000 bonus at season's end. We're going to have another lap under caution. I think the smoke is almost...
Yeah, I think Daniel Hilsebeck, it looks like here on our screen, James, maybe getting a receiver check on the 22. Zach Booker down there checking that. You saw him put the caution flag in front of the driver. We talk about that a few times a year.
One-way communication.
With the receiver, yes, with the one-way radio communication, yes, and safety officials put the yellow flag in front of the driver to let them know that they are tending to or working on that race car. As long as that yellow flag is in front of them, they are not clear to drive off. Once the yellow flag is pulled, that signifies to the driver that any and all work and safety officials have been clear to the race car, and that driver is then clear to take off.
Lightsaber over here is in action.
Yes, not lightsaber, not the lightsaber.
Are you ready, brother? Let's do
this.
75,000 to win 100 laps. We're going to have one more lap under caution. The smoke has cleared. It's in Bolivar by now, probably. All right.
It was moving south,
yep.
I think.
100 laps.
All right.
We'll talk to the top 3 in Big River Steel on the Big River Steel podium. Ben will do that. Hudson O'Neal, Ricky Thornton Jr. And Hudson O'Neal, he wins this race. They'll pay him an extra $5K to make it a $100,000 weekend. Dustin Jarrett, the 33rd. Show me 100. Here we go.
Green flag flies in the Newton Green Ag Solutions starting zone. Hudson O'Neal trying to clean sweep the weekend. Gets the early hole shot down into 1 and 2.
Man, Thornton got up on 2 wheels as he went into turn 2. Davenport quickly goes to second. Behind them, here comes Moran on the outside out of turn number 4. O'Neal leads lap number 1 here in Wheatland.
Yeah, good start for the 71. Jonathan Davenport second, and then the rest of the field back there behind them. Still 2x2x2. Rocket 199. Look at the 98 of Justin Wells on the inside already. They're 3 wide momentarily for the 5th spot.
I'm telling you, this Justin Wells, he changed motors. He's at the TNT chassis, giving Brandon Shepard all he wants into 1. Moran on the outside. The lead right now, 0.5 of a second. O'Neal and Davenport in a 2-car runaway right now. And then you see behind them Thornton, Shepard, Wells, Moran. Good race here off of turn 4.
Man, that lead duo is pulled away, and there's a battle up front for the lead, James. The 49 of Jonathan Davenport has quickly closed in on Hudson. I mean, those 2 cars have just taken off like rocket ships at the front of the field, much like Davenport did here 1 year ago. Hudson O'Neal going to stay out front.
Davenport will go to the outside now, and Hudson O'Neal slip up the track there just a little bit. Jason Durham, the crew chief on the 71, of course, he was twice a crew chief of the year in the Lucas Oil Series. Of course, he had the $2 million season with Davenport a few years ago as O'Neal into turn number 1, looking for his 5th straight win here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
If this pace keeps up for the 71 and the 49, it's not going to take long for them to reach the tail end of the field. Good battle behind them, and a battle now for the 3rd spot. Justin Wells trying to work his way around Ricky Thornton Jr. A battle for P3.
You and I, we love when the local talent come out. We've had 7 Show Me State drivers make this show tonight as the battle for the lead continues. Meanwhile, through the middle there, Alberson trying to move up through there. As they come off of turn 4, Justin Wells trying to pull a shocker. He almost did last night into turn number 1. All over Ricky Thornton Jr., the reigning series champion and current points leader, Dustin. And here's the battle for lead off of 4.
Absolutely. Let's not forget Justin Wells ran 4th in the Show Me 100 back in 2006. That's where he runs right now. He's got a run to the inside of Ricky Thornton Jr., a battle for 3rd. They just made contact, and this happens a full straightaway behind your lead duo.
They're already picking up the tail end of the field. Here comes the 3rd place car, Thornton just now for 4. The duo out in front, it's O'Neal by about 4 car lengths, 0.5 of a second on the scoring monitor. Meanwhile, Brandon Shepard to the outside of Moran. And we got a Coleman Farms racing caution on the track, turn 4. Right here, it's Tyler Stevens.
Yeah, tough break for the Paragould, Arkansas driver who slows 9 laps into this one. 91 laps to go here in the 33rd running of the Lucas Oil Show Me 100. Tyler Stevens making his way back to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and he'll come to the attention of his crew, and this Coleman Farms Racing caution flag is going to erase a 5.5 second gap that Hudson O'Neal and Jonathan Davenport had built up ahead of Ricky Thornton Jr., Justin Wells, and Devin Moran.
How about that Justin Wells? Again, like I said, you and I grew up and we love local and regional racing, but when a guy like this can run against the best in the business in the Lucas Oil Series, doing a great job. By the way, Tyler Stevens started in 14th. He had slipped back to 25th as that last lap was complete, so 9 in the books. So he's in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Not sure if he lost a mud plug or what, Ben.
Yeah, he was kind of turning the wheels back and forth when he came past me in 3 and 4 to draw that Coleman Farms caution. Tyler Kuykendall pulled out on lap 1, mechanical issues on that race car, and Clay Stuckey nose damage knocked him out a few laps in. He's out of this one as well.
Ben, what about this Justin Wells? He changed motors today, and he's right there and against the best, one of the best in the business in RTJ.
Well, they just put the good motor in today. They were saving it for today. But no, I tell you what, it's really cool to see guys like Justin Wells have a run like this. And hey, who knows? Again, a top 5 would be a win for that team. Anything more, well, that would be that much better.
Clay Stuckey, Ben, as you had just mentioned out of the party, we just saw him make his way to the pit area. 9 laps into this one, Aaron Morant is the early candidate for the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger, up 7 spots. He started 25th. currently runs 18th. There's Wells, the two-time and defending track champion, over 20 wins here at Lucas Oil Speedway over the course of the last 2 seasons. Hudson O'Neal is out front, and James, the field lined up in the Delaware double file restart.
Tyler Kuykendall out of the race. He'll finish 27th. Clayton Stuckey 26th. So Stevens is still not back out yet, right? I don't believe he's out there. Here he comes. Here comes Tyler out of the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Yeah, there was a 2-car breakaway, wasn't it? You mentioned they were 5.5 seconds ahead of Thornton. Wells and Thornton, they touched a little bit down there in 2, didn't they? I mean,
yeah.
There was contact, but...
Racing hard, man. Racing hard for position.
Yeah.
91 laps to go in the 33rd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100. Yellow lights turned off. Green flag will wave this time by. They'll fire in that Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone off corner number 4. Hudson O'Neal has been your leader since the drop of the green.
Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone back underway. 91 to go. Thorne's going to go to the outside. Wells on the bottom. Justin Wells out at 2. Down the back straightaway. He's going to move into 3rd at 98. Justin Wells putting on a show. Here comes Carson Ferguson in 93 to the top.
He's working the outside of the speedway. You're exactly right. Oh, man, RTJ almost tagged the wall. Coming off corner number 4. That opens up the door for Devin Moran. Moran trying to go to the inside. He'll do so. Carson Ferguson looking to go to the inside. Here comes Pierce. Here comes Shep. Here comes the 20 RT, though, back on the outside, James.
Here comes the rest of the field. What a show so far. We got 11 in the book, so this can keep up for 100 laps. O'Neal still leads 0.4 of a second. Justin Wells trying to reel him in. He's 1 second behind. Davenport to the outside. Off at turn 4. Will we have a new leader? We do not. O'Neal by a car length into turn 1 with 12 complete.
Boy, Jonathan Davenport, that last lap, really working the outside of the racetrack, James. He didn't get as good of a run off turn number 2 right there as what he did the last time. That last time off turn 2, I thought for sure he was going to have the lead the next time by. Instead, he's going to stay behind the 71, and don't look now, Justin Wells closing in on the lead duo.
O'Neal almost opened the door for Davenport. He's right there, JD to the outside. We work lap 14. Wells 3rd, Thornton, Carson Ferguson runs in 5th off of turn 4. They go into 1. Davenport there takes a look and peek at the back of the 71 car, down the back straightaway. Wells is about 1.7 seconds behind this battle up front. There's a battle there. How about Carson Ferguson? He's got a good hot rod tonight in car number 93.
He sure does. He's looking good. That's the battle on the right side of your screen. Davenport on the left side of your screen going for the lead once again. Not able to get it right there, but he gets a good run off turn 2. Through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. Side by side for 4th at the line. The 71 hangs on for another lap, James.
They're side by side here. And Thorne's got the spot by 1 car length. Moran 6th. Moran now the 7th. Pierce is 6th. Shepard. Tyler Bruning up to 8th. Garrett Alberson runs 10th. And it's over to Dillard. Wilson McIntosh, Dylan McCowan, your top 15.
This is fun, man. This is exciting. Good stuff here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Early in the going. Jonathan Davenport throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. Behind them, the 98 of Justin Wells. He's got a half straightaway on the battle on the right side of your screen between Ferguson, Thornton, Pierce, and Moran. And they're all quickly closing in once again on the tail end of the field.
Car length and a half. Davenport shoots to the outside. Still a long way to go up at turn 4. Davenport way out wide. And he's right there. He'll cut to the bottom. That was close. 19 complete.
Oh.
Justin Wells hanging right in there. He's 1.9 behind Davenport. Goes to the inside into turn 3. They go side by side. Will we have a new leader? They might have touched briefly. And Jonathan Davenport has taken the lead here in the Show Me 100.
Did he snooker him? Interesting. Davenport would take the lead right there only because they're so close to the tail end of the field. We'll see how that fast 49 does as he starts to work through the back of the field, and it'll begin with the 60 of Dan Ebert. He'll be the first car to go 1 lap down.
Right now, Justin Wells hanging around entering 3rd. Ferguson 4th. Good run for Carson. Bobby Pierce up to 5th. First time he's been here in a couple years. Davenport, heavy traffic on the bottom. You mentioned Dan Ebert. He's running in 25th. Only 2 cars still out of this one.
Looking back now on the drivers back in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. With the 76 of Brandon over to the Rocket 1 of Brandon Shepard, the 58 of Garrett Alberson, and the 18D of Dalton Wilson. And while those guys go at it up front, Jonathan Davenport has stretched out to 9/10 of a second over Hudson O'Neal. 23 laps in the books.
Now O'Neill, he will clear Ebert, so he'll settle in there. Wells still right there. Ferguson, Pierce, Thornton, Moran, Bruning, Overton, Shepard, Wilson, your top 10 right now. Dalton running in 11th. Heavy traffic behind the two of Stevens. O'Neill will have a good run out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Now he's got 2 cars in front of him. Spence is on the top. Out at turn 4. O'Neill looks through the middle. JD on the bottom. Took the lead back on lap 20 as they battle into turn 1, Dustin.
Yep.
As we've got 25 complete, a fourth of the way done here tonight.
Getting interesting again if you're Jonathan Davenport. Where do you go? Tyler Stevens in the 2. The 19 MS Spencer Hughes. Davenport thinks about threading the needle. Not going to happen, though. That door closes just as quickly as it opens. Here comes the 71. Hudson O'Neill going to look down to the inside. This one's been really good.
Oh,
the green, and they just made contact.
Davenport came down the track. That'll open the door for Justin Wells. Here comes Carson Ferguson. Here comes Bobby Pierce. Davenport still cannot clear Stevens, and Stevens cuts in front of him at turn 1.
Business about to pick up. What am I talking about? Business has picked up since we dropped the green flag.
It is open for business. Davenport trying to get around Stevens. They're 3 wide. 2-lap cars on the outside. Davenport trying to clear Spencer Hughes and Stevens, and he might finally have done that. Meanwhile, Justin Wells has closed in O'Neill, and Bobby Pierce has climbed to 4th at 32. Here comes Pierce.
He started back in 8th. Bobby Pierce is the 49 of Jonathan Davenport, trying to put a couple cars between himself and Hudson O'Neill, but just as quickly as Davenport's able to work around a couple back markers, Hudson O'Neill disposes of them as well. Justin Wells also keeping pace, but he's got the 32 of Bobby Pierce now within a stone's throw behind him. Carson Ferguson remains in the 5th spot. RTJ, Overton, Moran, Perm, and the Beard round out the top 10 in this one. 30 in the book, 70 to go.
1 caution flag so far. Meanwhile, Davenport, he will clear the 93 of Lawler. Here comes O'Neill. Then you have Wells. O'Neill still for car links back. Justin Wells. Meanwhile, Pierce to the top shelf. Could be trouble for the competition. Bobby to the outside, rolls on the outside of Wells into turn number 3. Pierce, the 2017 winner. He might have Wells this time around. He will not clear him. He's half a car length back. Carson Ferguson still 5th at 93. This time Pierce down the back straightaways. He splits Ebert and Wells.
It'll become official at the scoring loop, but the 32 is in front last time by Justin Wells by 0.05 of a second. This time by Wells with a good run off corner number 4, but it's Bobby Pierce up to the 3rd spot, and this happens now about 1.5 seconds behind your 2nd place car of Hudson O'Neill.
Jonathan Davenport now exiting turn 4. Here comes O'Neill. He's got to get around the 93 of Lawler. Pierce got one of the fastest cars on the track in 32. Justin Wells 4th. Carson Ferguson is 5th. Well, we got to spin in turn 2, and that will have a Coleman Farms Racing caution for the 96 of Dalton Imhoff.
Boy, that could have been trouble for some of the guys at the front of the field as that happened right near the front of the pack. Coleman Farms Racing caution flag flies. 34 laps in the books, 66 laps remaining in the 33rd running of the Lucas Oil Show Me 100 presented by the Missouri Division of Tourism. First time Show Me 100 starter Dalton Imhoff slides to a stop over in turns 1 and 2 right around the front of the field, and that has slowed the pace with 34 laps in the books and 66 laps to go here tonight in Wheatland, Missouri at Lucas Oil Speedway. And this one has been very, very good since the drop of the green flag, although the last couple laps, James, Jonathan Davenport slowly put a few car lengths between himself and Hudson O'Neill.
So we'll see here on the Hoka Trucking, do you have as the early hard charge again? Pierce started in 8th. He's up to 3rd now, so he's cleared Wells. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dalton Wilson up 7 spots. He started 15th, currently runs in position number 8.
So it's Davenport, O'Neill, Pierce, Wells, Ferguson, your top 5. Then Thornton, Overton, Wilson, Moran, Bruning, 10th. Then Shepard, Alberson, Dillard, McCowan, and Hilzebeck, your top 15. Still 25 cars still on the racetrack, only 2 out, Kuykendall and Clayton Stuckey.
So that'll give Jonathan Davenport a clear racetrack in front of him. The rest of the field again will line up. Delaware double file, 2nd place Hudson O'Neill with his choice of inside or outside lane. He chooses the inside lane, and Bobby Pierce The 2017 Show Me 100 champ has clawed his way from the 8th starting spot now up to 3rd.
Had a little bit of tire wear here last night. It's not an abrasive track. It's just the way it is sometimes, right? And they're carrying such speed here. So we still have a long way to go, 16 shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. So O'Neill led the first 19 laps, and Davenport has led since lap 20.
The yellow lights have been turned off, and we're going to go green flag racing this time by. Again, 34 laps scored, 66 laps to go. The green flag waves in the Nutrient Ag Solutions starting zone with Jonathan Davenport.
Trying to make it back-to-back, trying to win his 3rd Show Me 100 of his career. Pierce and O'Neill both trying to win their 2nd. Ferguson trying to win the biggest race of his career. He climbs to 4th. Carson Ferguson, he goes to the outside. That's where he has been really good tonight in 93. Ferguson to the outside of Pierce down the main straightaway. Pierce by half a car length for 3rd.
Yeah, good race right there. Carson Ferguson, does he have something in that middle groove of the racetrack? He's got a good run down the back straightaway. Carson Ferguson made this race last year for the very first time in his first attempt. He finished 12th. He had a good run, and right now he has position 3, and he may not be done yet.
Anytime Bobby Pierce hasn't been past much in the last couple of years, without a doubt, right? Ferguson, it's that new white uniform. Gotta be, right? It's looking good so far, right there, hanging on for 3rd. Good race there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Meanwhile, Davenport 1.5 seconds ahead for JD into turn number 3.
I've seen this movie before, James. It was about 365 days ago. That 49 is really good out front here at Lucas Oil Speedway. But still a lot of racing left to go, man. 62 laps to go in this one. Battle for that 2nd and 3rd spot. On the right side up your screen, Hudson O'Neill inching ahead by a couple car lengths. Carson Ferguson there in the white 93 in 3rd. Bobby Pearson 4th. Brandon Overton now rounds out the top 5.
You know, Chris is back home rooting on his cousin there because Chris Ferguson won this race. He loves this racetrack. He wanted to come. Hoping that Carson Ferguson can get it done tonight. He goes back to the top on O'Neill through the middle. Davenport a straightaway lead right now on the 1. There you see Wells back there. He's back to 7th right now. Dalton Wilson 8th. Bruning Thornton is back to 9th in 20 RT. So Thornton has lost contact with the front runners, DJ.
Yeah, started on the outside front row and has fallen back to the 9th spot. You got to wonder if it was tire choice or maybe something else. Remember, he made contact with someone there a little early on in the going as well. 59 laps to go, 41 in the books, and Dalton Wilson continues his charge through the field, James. He just picked up another spot. So the big perm has gone from 15th up to 7th, and we have got a Coleman Farms Racing caution flag on the Speedway. Dylan McCowan.
Yes.
Kate Dillard had slowed, I believe, on the back straightaway, and Dylan McCowan, hard on the binders, cracked the wall at the end of the backstretch. Ben?
Yeah, we got debris at the end of the back straightaway right in the entrance into turn number 3. We'll pick that up. I believe that is off McCowan's car as he heads to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Spoiler trailing behind him.
And I don't know if Kate Dillard is going to be able to make his way off the racetrack. That 97 has slowed to a stop near the exit of the Speedway. So a tough break for Kate Dillard, tough break for the 8 of Dylan McCowan as well. And, well, Dillard.
And Garrett Alberson to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Garrett Alberson was running in 13th. By the way, only Davenport crossed the line that time, so we'll go back to lap 41. As you see Garrett Alberson, man, such a great run here on Thursday.
Yeah,
and then last night, tire down into the wall, cut a tire down, and going to the backup car today, and in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
The crew going to work on that car, and while that happens, I'm still very curious. Maybe, I don't know if it was some sort of electrical or battery issue, car shut off on the 97 of Kate Dillard. I mean, he slowed on the back straightaway and then had slowed to a stop just before entering the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And it was like that car got fired back up again. He bypassed the hot pit and has rejoined the field now at the tail.
Carson, Dillard was running in 12th on the racetrack. Man, I'm telling you, Carson Ferguson, he almost won at 34 Raceway, right? The Slocum Memorial, and he and Pierce battled out there on the final lap. and he went around Bobby Pierce. Not too many people the last couple of years have passed Bobby Pierce.
Yeah, and Carson's got a really good race car. He has really learned a lot on the road the past year and a half. And right now, he's been one of the drivers to get that middle groove rolling. But what we saw last year, Jonathan Davenport dominant early and often. Here's what we've seen ever since he got to the lead. We'll see what he can do with Hudson right there behind him and Carson in third.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. Hey, shout out to another driver as well, running really well. We talked about Justin Wells. How about Cole Wells in the 7, James? He started back in 21st starting spot. He is going to be in 12th on this restart. So the Wells is running well here tonight. Love to see
Not
it.
related to Eric Wells. Eric, we need you here in 2026, my friend. All right, JD out in front. 41 complete, 9 shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. Davenport, O'Neill, Ferguson, Pierce, Overton. Nobody said anything about Brandon Overton. He's quietly worked his way into the top 5. He may try to go even further into turn number 1, DJ.
Yeah, remember, he had driveline issues here on Thursday night. That team rebounded. He's going to think about threading the needle off corner number 2. Down the back straightaway, looking to bring the big perm with him. Bobby Pierce on the inside. Oh, Carson Ferguson just hooked a run, and that's going to allow Brandon Overton to work his way by up into position number 3.
Oh, man, Anthony Burrows turning the wrenches on that car down the back straightaway. Here comes Ferguson. He'll have to regroup. And a little bit of a problem in 2, but we're still clear and green.
Yeah, the 58 and the 97 got together over there. Alberson and Dillard. We stay green flag racing, though. Everyone's able to get it back going again. Brandon Overton now challenging Hudson O'Neill. Meanwhile, behind him, 2x2 for about as far as you can see. Bobby Pierce now filing in a clear. Ferguson, but not before a Copeland Farms Racing caution flies on the Speedway. 43 scored, 57 to go. Debris on the racetrack has brought out this latest Copeland Farms Racing caution flag. And we'll get that picked up over in turn number 2. There, Lucas Oil Speedway safety officials do just that. As it looks like the 58 of Alberson, the 97 of Dillard, both going to make their way back to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Yeah, Garrett Alberson may need a few weeks off. He'll be at the Dream at Eldora, but he goes to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Ben Shelton, from your vantage point, the 76 was eyeing that second spot, and O'Neill coming off at turn 4 before the caution came out.
Yeah, he really found something on that restart. We saw Carson Ferguson have a bit of an issue, and Brandon took off. Overton is from 10th up to 3rd, and right now, when you take a look at the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger, how about Aaron Morant, 25th to 13th up 12 spots. Some movers and shakers as we approach the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark.
And thank goodness Aaron Morant had enough points the last 2 nights, right? Because he was leading the first of 2 B mains, had a flat tire, was unable to finish that, and he got in here tonight, and he started back in 25th. So 43 complete. It's Davenport, O'Neill, Overton, Pierce, Ferguson. Is Big Perma still a Hoker Trucking? Not yet, right?
No, Ben just mentioned it was Aaron Morant. Yes, he just mentioned that. Yes, from 25th to 13th.
Big Perm 6th, Thornton 7th, Moran 8th, Wells 9th, Justin Wells, Shepard is 10th. Thornton had dropped back to about 9th. He's in 7th. He was up there with the front runners, but he is falling back now a little bit there inside the top 10.
Well, this will be the first time Brandon Overton finds himself alongside Hudson O'Neill running in that 3rd spot, the 76. And I'll see what Big Sexy has for him on this Delaware double file restart. And you know Hudson O'Neill's going to go low. He's gone low on the other restarts, right? So you got another 71's going to go low. Overton, though, has been pretty good up high on these restarts.
Carson Ferguson refocuses a little bit. Every lap you turn against these guys, the best in the business, you get better.
What a likable young man, a likable team, you know, with Donald and Gina Bradshaw and everything. Just really good to see that 93 car running well, man.
It's got a shot. I mean, there's several guys here that have a shot. Now, Davenport and O'Neill been the 2 leaders in this race, 7 shy of the halfway mark. I think that 76 has got something, don't you?
We'll find out.
We'll find out here.
24 of the original 27 starters still on the track. 43 laps scored, 57 laps to go. And the 49 of Jonathan Davenport leads him back to the green.
Overton swings out way wide. He'll get a run into 1. Brandon Overton. Here comes Carson Ferguson. Oh, and Overton slips up a little bit. Ferguson will go side by side down the back straightaway. Pierce back to 5th. Now O'Neill goes to the top shelf. Davenport still down low. They are hitting it hard and heavy. 44 complete. Battle up front in the 1.
Got to wonder if they didn't find something up high. Hudson O'Neal looking good in the 71. Going to try to get a run on Jonathan Davenport. Ironically, that's the same line that Jonathan Davenport used to move into the lead around Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal sends it into Warrensburg over in 3 and 4 and grabs the lead, James. Oh, my.
We saw that coming. Davenport has dominated here in the last 10 laps or so. All right, Overton third, Ferguson fourth, Bobby Pierce is fifth, Thornton up to sixth.
Wow.
Off of turn 4, man.
I mean, he threw it in there, man. They talk about slinging merch, here's slinging race cars. Good. This has been good since the drop of the green flag, brother.
This track is perfect,
yes.
right? There's not a rough spot anywhere. Carson Ferguson on the bottom of Bobby Pierce. O'Neal back in front. In halfway mark, $100 courtesy of Hellraiser Jacks. So 3 lead out. O'Neal slips up at 2 and Davenport will regain the lead. So it is at 4 lead changes among 2 drivers right now for turn 4 as Davenport back in front as we score 48.
Yep, it becomes official at the scoring loop right there. So 48 laps in the books, the fast 49 back out front. And don't look now, but Bobby Pierce starting to close in on the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. There's the battle for the 4th spot. The 20 RT has suddenly found a little bit of speed. He had fallen all the way back to 9th, James, and now Ricky Thornton Jr. looking for a way around the 76 of Brandon Overton.
Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. Cross flags from Rob Penrod. Battle back there. Never count Thornton now, right? As they come off a turn 4, 50 down, 50 to go. 4 lead changes among 3 drivers in the first half of the race. JD looking for his 2nd straight and his 3rd. Show me 100. Leads him off at turn 2.
I know it's a worn cliche. We talk about the changes a racetrack goes through, James. This one goes through as many as any of them. As it streaks up, grooves move around, and don't look now, but the fastest driver on the track now for the last 2 laps has been the 32 of Bobby Pierce.
Goes to the outside, down the back straight. Will size up. O'Neal goes to the bottom. He'll throw the slider in at 32. Willie clearing way out of there. Crossover. O'Neal has the spot. Here comes Overton at 76. It is sporty for 2nd place. Here comes Thornton off of turn 2. Pierce will have another run. O'Neal into turn number 3. 52 complete.
And this happens a half straightaway behind your leader, Jonathan Davenport, who is closed into the back of the field in a Coleman Farms Racing caution as Tyler Bruning has assaulted one of the Lucas Oil banners on the inside of turn number 1. 52 laps scored, 48 laps remaining in the Lucas Oil Show Me 100 presented by the Missouri Division of Tourism. And Tyler Bruning goes into a 4-wheel free slide and wipes out one of the Lucas Oil banners here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Damage on the right rear of the Skyline Motorsports, number 16.
Well, he's running 12th. You talked about Aaron Morant, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Morant started inside of row 13. He's up to 10th in the 1XM. Good for him, the Richmond, Missouri driver.
Yes.
Bruning to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Incredibly impressive run for Aaron Morant, who continues to march through the field. So Tyler Bruning going to come to the assistance of Zeb Holzvik and the crew down there in the 16. And boy, I mean, what do you call it? The quadruple box? We needed the quadruple box.
Yeah, what a great restart for O'Neal, but then he slipped up in turn 2. Davenport got back around him. So 4 lead changes among 2 drivers. It's Davenport, O'Neal, Pierce, Overton, Thornton, your top 5. Then Ferguson, Moran, Wilson, Shepard, Morant, 10th. How about Dan Ebert? Shout out to him. His first Show Me 100, 11th.
He started back in 19th. Several movers and shakers in this one. Aaron Morant now up 15 positions, as you talked about, from 25th now inside the top 10. An incredibly impressive run for the driver out of Richmond, Missouri, who made this race last year for the first time and finished 19th.
I still only show 3 cars out of the race. Tyler Kuykendall finished 27th, Clay Stuckey 26th, Dalton Imhoff 25th. I believe all 24 remaining once Bruning gets back out here on the racetrack.
And you know, that's not what Jonathan Davenport, your race leader, wants to see, right? Because that's quicker than he gets to lap traffic as well.
Especially after that last restart. Now Pierce in the top 3 for the first time. And Thornton has come back to life here a little bit as well.
Pierce on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you know what's going to happen.
You never know. Hey, are you surprised HUD chose the bottom on this restart, considering he's been running the high side the last several laps?
Pick the bottom every night this week, right? And it's proved successful, right? Except that last restart where he went way up there, as we're going to have a restart, 52 complete at the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. The Nutrient Ag Solutions ASC warranty 49, Jonathan Davenport back underway in Wheatland.
Love that shot of the car spanning out on the front straightaway. Hudson O'Neal knows what's up. He gets a good restart. The 32 trying to get a better restart. Pierce looking for that run down the back straightaway. Will he cross him over? He will not. He will stay on the high side. Now he'll look underneath in a battle for the second spot in the Show Me 100. Hudson O'Neal hangs on momentarily.
And we got a big wrecking for, and we're going to have a Coleman Farms Racing caution. Bruning is down there. Spencer Hughes and is it Cole Wells also involved in 7? No.
Yeah, Cole Wells, he's down here over in turn number 1, as is the 2 of Tyler Stevens. So that will bring out the Coleman Farms Racing caution flag again. 47 laps remaining in the 33rd running of the Lucas Oil Show Me 100. So they get the 16 of Tyler Bruning pulled away from the 19M of Spencer Hughes. Both those drivers are able to drive away. We saw Tyler Stevens and Cole Wells make their way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Ben Shelton, down to you.
Yeah, you guys are asking about why Hudson might be taking the inside on these restarts. It's fast on the top, but it is so far around the top of turn 4, you've got to really fan out. And Bobby Pierce might get it the second time around, but that first time, it's hard to get a good restart.
All right, 53 complete, Ben and Dustin. And we got a bunch out in Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit there. Dave Warren, Power Sports replay. Let's see what happened down there. Wells was 21st. Stevens, Bruning, and Hughes were all behind him as we see the Dave Warren Power Sports replay.
It's going to be on the bottom of your screen down here. The bottom of the screen. Keep your eyes there. And, Wells and Stevens made contact. And I think you might even see a little extracurricular activity. Man, we just panned out. There may have been the 2 and the 7 may have made some contact getting in to the pit lane as well, but that's what put us under this most recent Coleman Farms Racing caution.
All right, 53 complete. Davenport, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, doing great work. The drone, sometimes that happens, right? Davenport, O'Neal, Pierce, Overton, Carson, Ferguson, 5th, and Thornton, Wilson, Moran, Shepard, Morant, 10th. Justin Wells back to 11th. McIntosh, Ebert, Hilselbeck, McCowan, your top 15. As we'll have another lap under caution as we get them lined up. So O'Neal again, DJ, will pick the bottom on the 32.
Yeah, Dylan McCowan, you mentioned back up to 15th. Let's not forget that he ripped the entire spoiler off that race car earlier. He had to go back to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, get some work done to his race car. So the former Lucas Oil Speedway modified champion is indeed spoilerless. Yes, he is. There in that black and green number 8.
So all those that say they ought to take the spoiler off to get better air, right? I don't know.
That's right.
All right, 53 down here in Wheatland for $75,000. Jonathan Davenport, Hudson O'Neal, Bobby Pierce, the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. We are back underway.
Jonathan Davenport maybe got a hall pass right there, James, as he had just caught up to the tail end of the field when that Coleman Farms Racing caution flag came out, and Pierce now with a good run on Hudson O'Neal.
Mentioned a long way around there down the main straightaway. Pierce goes to second for the first time in this race. 54 complete. Down the back straightaway, the Coleman Farms Racing caution is out again.
We got debris
on the racetrack. Debris sitting down there in between 3 and 4.
Boy, just a rash of cautions here kind of in the middle of this race. And man, again, we've seen it for the first 46 laps of this race. As you see, the first 54 laps, rather, as Tyler Stevens makes his way back to his pit stall. It looks like his night's going to be done. But when we stay green flag racing, this has been a very, very good race.
So we'll do it again. We did get a lap in. So Pierce now in second. He will have the option of the bottom of the top on the restart. He's got to pick the top, right?
Well, to Ben's point, I mean, he found, that high side is so far around the racetrack, but he also, found the groove that he needed to get the run off the corners. And just as we were bragging on Dylan McCowan, James, he's going back to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, conveniently located right behind a billboard back there.
He's up to third. How about Dan Ebert up to 10th, Moran 11th, McIntosh 12th, McCowan was 13th, and Wells and Hilsebeck. So right now, out of the race still is just 3 cars, right? And
yes.
That would be Kuykendall, Stuckey, and Imhoff. So now Bobby, he's going to pick the bottom. Look at this.
There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of an upset, but we'll see what happens.
We lost Tyler Bruning as well and Cole Wells, James. They have not returned to the Speedway. We saw Tyler Stevens also make his way back to his pit stall. So it does look like 20, as it stands right now, at least 21 drivers still on the track as the yellow lights have been shut off and the green flag is going to wave the next time by.
See if McCowan can make it back out. Former modified track champion here. Davenport. Ford lead changes among 2 drivers. Bobby Pierce threatening to take the lead for the first time. He was 0.4 of a second back. We got a lap in. 54 complete. 46 to go for $75,000 off at turn 4. Back underway at the Nutridex Solutions restart zone.
When Bobby Pierce had that 32 right around the Ute tires on the inside of the track. Now Hudson O'Neal going to try to do the same thing Pierce did, and he's got a run. Here comes Carson Ferguson as well. Carson Ferguson with a run on the 32. 49 out front, 71 back to second, 32 now back to third.
These restarts have been something else. Davenport pull away, Pearsonell try the inside of O'Neal, Ferguson 4th, Overton 5th, Moran Thornton, Aaron Moran back to 8th. Currently the Poker Trucking hard charger, yes sir, 25th to 8th for Moran.
Wow.
And he's not done yet. They're 3 wide back here. Meanwhile, Moran on the bottom of Thornton and Overton. Meanwhile, Davenport 9/10 of a second that last time around as we score lap 57.
57 in the books this time by Jonathan Davenport trying to pull away from the field. We got a few guys near the front of the field, kind of diamonding off corner 1 or down in turns 1 and 2. They all stay high down in 3 and 4. But the last time by, the lead trio all entered high in 1 and kind of diamond off the corner coming off in 2.
Aaron Moran might have lost another spot. I think Dalton Wilson got around him. Battle there through the middle between Thornton and Overton. And Thornton cuts right in front of Brandon Overton out at 2. Meanwhile, Davenport 1.4 the advantage over O'Neal and Pierce here in Wheatland. As they head into turn 1. Now Diamond off the corner and O'Neal. That will leave the door open for Bobby Pierce. Loses a little bit of ground. Carson Ferguson a solid 4th. And Thornton. Jonathan Davenport, silky smooth down the main straightaway, 40 to go.
He's good here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Now Pierce going to try to go to the bottom down in turns 1 and 2. That's the battle for second. It's a decent run off the corner. Hudson O'Neal, though, a little bit better. And Bobby Pierce finds something on the very bottom of the track down in 1 and 2. Everyone tiptoes around the top in 3 and 4, this time by 39 laps remaining.
That battle into turn number 2. O'Neal will up top, Pierce down on the bottom. What Bobby Pierce conserving his tires maybe a little bit. Now he'll jump to the back to the top. Carson Ferguson several car lengths back than Thornton. Still getting around there pretty good, DJ.
These last 2 times by, James, Hudson O'Neal and Bobby Pierce have both closed in on Jonathan Davenport. I mean, Hudson O'Neal is just letting her all hang out, especially coming off turn number 2 now, and that's proven to be a fast way around for him. Davenport's lead's gone from 1.6 down to 1 second last time by. JD, though, puts 3/10 on him this last time across the scoring.
Yeah, O'Neal's having problems in turn 2. Can't quite get through there. Bobby all over him in turn 3. And Ferguson has pressure from Ricky Thornton Jr. It's still Jonathan Davenport showing the way. Starting to pick up the tail end of the field. Davenport out of turn 2. And we got a car, McCowan and Lawler there slowed in the back straightaway. As Davenport closed on them, it was 1.1. It may be closer. It may be under a second this time, Des.
Yeah, I think what happened to both those drivers you talked about, the 8 of McCowan, the 93 of Lawler, looked like both of them maybe slipped that right rear up on the shelf. Davenport, as he closes in on the back of the field, you called it, James. Hudson O'Neal and Pierce. Pierce now going for second, clears O'Neal. O'Neal going to drive back under. They both close in on Davenport. Wow.
There's a classic Bobby Pierce slider right there as he has cleared O'Neal. His slip up at 2. That turn 2 may be a little treacherous up there. Davenport, he's going to try to throw the slider on Lawler. That won't work. He'll lose a little bit of grip. It was 1.1. Davenport, Pierce, O'Neill into 1. Ferguson is still 4th. Thornton is over in 5th. Around the back straightaway, and they got Lawler and Justin Wells in front of them. This is going to get real interesting right here. The battle for the lead off of turn 4 on lap 68.
Back of the field, they're battling for position and pedaling hard, and now the 32 gives the 49 a shot in the shorts. Pierce with a slider for the lead in turns 1 and 2. They'll get it. Here comes Jonathan Davenport back down to the inside. This time by 69 laps to go.
Oh, man.
Pierce to the outside. James, it would be official at the scoring loop. Yes, it is. New leader, Bobby Pierce, 3rd leader of the race, 5th lead change.
Look at this battle for the lead. Pierce, Davenport on in now. Pierce has got to contend with Wells. Where does he go? He'll slide through the middle. Davenport up top. O'Neill down low. Through the middle. At the lap, a car length. Pierce in front. Terrific battle. Now O'Neill goes to the bottom. 30 to go. Out at 2. Pierce is going to have to clear. There might have been contact there. Wells and Lawler. Pierce is going to have to throw it in there right now, and he will. He'll slide way up the track. And Bobby still leads now as he puts the 2-lap cars between himself and 2nd and 3rd.
And Jonathan Davenport will split them down in 1 and 2. So now no back markers between the 32 and the 49. Hudson O'Neill trying to keep pace and follow suit. Carson Ferguson 2 seconds behind in 4th. Ricky Thornton Jr. 5th now, this time by 28 laps to go. Bobby Pierce out front at Lucas Oil Speedway.
I'm telling you, Ferguson and Thornton. Here comes Overton. Here comes Moran. Here comes Dalton Wilson. They're not out of it yet. As meanwhile, Bobby Pierce, 3 different leaders. What have we had? 5 lead changes at least officially.
Yeah.
He leads out at 2. Davenport will get a run down the back straightaway. Ferguson. Carson Ferguson now's got to get around traffic. Overton, Thornton, Moran.
Pierce just slipped up down in 3 and 4.
There's action everywhere.
Yeah, that allows Jonathan Davenport to close back in. Quadruple box this baby. I mean, we need cameras everywhere. Boy, a good run that time off corner number 2 for Bobby Pierce. He slipped in 3 and 4 the last time, got a little too high. That was where Jonathan Davenport closed ground, and now Bobby Pierce closing in on the back of the field.
You said this place was boring. Are you kidding me? They are putting on a show here tonight. Pierce down the back straightaway behind the 50 to Garrett Alberson. Alberson, the last car on the lead lap, runs in 19th. Bobby Pierce to the outside. As O'Neill and the rest of the field, they've gone to that top in 3 and 4. And Bobby Pierce out of turn 2 and Garrett Alberson. It has been a tough end of the weekend for the 58 that started so promising.
Yeah, James, the 71 of Hudson O'Neill has lost contact with the leaders, Pierce and Davenport. They have stretched out to about a 2.5-second advantage over the 71 of Hudson O'Neill. Carson Ferguson continues to put in an outstanding performance in 4th, and Brandon Overton rounds out the top 5, and here comes the 49 again.
Off at turn 4, 22 to go. Davenport now, as Pierce throws it in the middle. He'll lose a slide up the track in front of McCowan. Now Davenport will have the run down the back straightaway. Strong run for JD at a 3. We got about it for lead. He's thinking about the slider. They're side by side briefly. Off at turn 4, Pierce still leads by about 3 car lengths at the line.
What a race. What a race we've got here tonight. A little bit of a cushion building up going into 1 and 2. That's where the 49 is able to get a run side by side. The back of the field in front of your race leader, Bobby Pierce. Pierce will throw a slider. He momentarily clears Spencer Hughes and puts him between himself and the 49. Davenport will clear him down in 1 and 2.
20 to go. 20 to go. I'm not sure if Bobby Pierce has lost his transponder, DJ, because of the scoring monitor. It shows Davenport in front. We can see with the eyeball test he's not. So you wonder, Pierce is not picking up if the transponder has gone dead or he's lost. And meanwhile, out of 2, Davenport's about 3 car lengths behind. Down the back straightaway. They'll have 18 laps to go.
All right, those of you
Carson Ferguson. Well, it's O'Neill still 3rd, Ferguson 4th, Moran 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you at home, because of the lap counter, we'll leave the ticker up. Just know that these are tied in. The ticker at the top of the screen are tied directly to the electronic scoring devices. As the 32 has lost his, he's out front, and Jonathan Davenport is closed back in again. James, 17 to go.
Great weekend for Justin Wells. Is in and out of this one. Pierce slides in front of Dillard. On the bottom, Davenport gets the run out of 2. Here he comes. 14, lap 84 coming up. Off at turn 4, down the main straightaway. Davenport, oh man, Dillard right in front of him. He'll have to throw the slider on Dillard. I'm not sure if there was contact or not. trying not to lose contact with the 32. Gordy Gundaker, 15th place, the final car in the lead lap off at turn 4, Dustin.
Boy, and Jonathan Davenport is having a lot of trouble passing the 97 and Cade Dillard, and that has allowed Bobby Pierce to really stretch out his advantage over the course of the last couple laps. Pierce now picking back up again on the electronic timing and scoring system, a 1.2 second advantage for the smooth operator last time by.
Down the main straightaway, 86. 15 laps to go.
This has been fun, brother. This has been a fun race.
It's not over yet, but Bobby Pierce, if he can clear Lawler and Zed Hilzebeck, it may be all she wrote if it stays green up at turn 4.
Just saw trouble there for Aaron Moran. He's able to get his feet back under him. But
Lost Bobby again.
Yeah, we lost. Oh, my. Yes, we did lose Bobby Pierce again in the electronic timing. My goodness, that thing is only picking up a few times. Well, there is the lead. Your 32 car, your leader. The 49 flashing in and out of your screen. 12 laps to go in the Show Me 100.
Pierce now, he'll just have to clear Daniel Hilzebeck. Hilzebeck, the final car in the lead lap, he is 12th. Good run for Daniel. But right now, Bobby Pierce still throttle mashing it out of turn 4.
And James, things got awfully hairy for the 49 the last time by. Jonathan Davenport, he slipped up coming off corner number 2, and that actually allowed the 71 of Hudson O'Neal to gain back on the 49 in the battle for second.
Pierce wants to quickly get around the 22 of Hilzebeck. We've got
9 laps remaining, James, is what we got. 9 laps remaining.
10.
Oh, baby. Oh, man. Dalton Wilson, I thought he was going to lose it there, and he didn't. Unbelievable.
So it's Pierce, Davenport, O'Neal, Moran, Ferguson, Wilson, your top 6. Oh, look out, contact into Ferguson is big perm. That was a battle there. Wilson goes to 5th. Pierce is picking back up again. 8, I believe, unofficially in the books in 32, as he has got to clear Moran, and Hilzebeck slides in front of him. Here comes Davenport. He's about 8 car lengths back. Pierce is going to try to throw this slide on Hilzebeck at 4, and he jumps the cushion, gets it back going again. Oh, baby.
I mean, my heart rate is up.
They're just going for 75K. That's all they're going for.
And Jonathan Davenport's closed back in on him here. Pierce at one time had stretched out to almost 2 seconds. Jonathan Davenport closing back in on him in the closing stages of this race. 6 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
We think. Pierce is back on the scoring monitor. Now, Davenport, he'll have to clear Hilzebeck. Second, O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie there is Aaron Morant. He is now the final car in the lead lap at 12th. He is also the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger. 5 to go. You see the shot there. Pierce is going to have to quickly make work of Moran and throw the slider up the track, but he'll lose ground. And here comes Davenport down the back straightaway. 5 car lengths behind him into turn 3.
Superman trying to do Superman things. Owen Moran slipped up in front of him, and the 49 had to bobble as well. That'll allow Pierce to pull back ahead a little bit down the front straightaway. Davenport clears Moran. Now a clear track between the 32 and the 49, and Bobby Pierce now closing in on the 93, a Corey Lawler with 3 laps to go.
I mean, these two guys are hammered down. Clay Harris out of this one. Pierce up top. He will clear Lawler. Right now, Davenport has got to hope for a mistake from Pierce or a caution, because he is losing contact with the 32. Looking for his second career Show Me 100 win. He won here 8 years ago down the main straightaway. 2 to go for the smooth operator.
And I don't know that he's going to collect the back of the field again. Jonathan Davenport pedaling hard in the second spot, but still behind your race leader. They come around to the Barron's Performance. 1 to go here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Into turn number 1, the deficit last time was 3 seconds. It is 2.3. Again, pending the UN08 scales behind the 8 of McCowan. Pierce there. Final lap. He's going to have to split Hughes and McCowan, trying to keep it out of the wall. He does, and Bobby Pierce has won his second Show Me 100.
Second spot's going to go to Jonathan Davenport. Finishing 3rd will be Hudson O'Neal. 4th, unofficially, is going to go to Devin Moran, and Dalton Wilson will come from the 15th starting spot to 5th. Unofficially, Carson Ferguson finishes 6th, Ricky Thornton Jr. 7th, Brandon Overton 8th, Brandon Shepard 9th, and unofficially Donald McIntosh will round out the top 10. Pyro going off, but there is still one bit of business left to take care of.
Pierce started 8th. With I believe five official lead changes, right? Among 3 drivers.
Official. Unofficial, like 105 it felt like.
Yes.
That was a fun race, man. That was really, really good here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. The 33rd running of the Lucas Oil Show Me 100 presented by the Missouri Division of Tourism. Pierce has made his way into the UNOH Tech and Scale area. And he's trying to make it official. A 2-time Show Me 100 champion. He won this race back in 2017. The 2-time World 100 champ.
Don't tell me that wasn't entertaining, right? Don't tell me that was
fun.
boring.
That was
we
fun,
had
man.
11 drivers score all 100 laps. Dan Ebert, hats off to him, 11th. Hilsebeck, Morant, Dillard, Alberson, Gordy, Gundaker, Hughes, all 1 lap down. McCowan, 2 laps down. Lawler, 3 laps down. Then Harris, a DNF from 20 on back. Clay Harris, Justin Wells, Tyler Stevens, Cole Wells, Tyler Bruning, Dalton Imhoff, Clay Stuckey, Tyler Kuykendall. We will check the droop. Again, the weight rule in the Lucas Oil 800 Dirt Series main event, 100 laps, 100-pound, a pound per lap burn off, 23.50, so we can weigh 22.50 minimum. Yes, we got a thumbs up.
We got a thumbs up.
Thumbs
It is
up.
official. The winner of the 33rd annual Lucas Oil Show Me 100 is going to be the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. We also have another bit of news, James. On that last restart, Devin Moran jumped a... Morant sound very, very similar to each other. So Aaron Morant jumped that last restart, so he will be docked 2 positions that he jumped plus 2 positions at the end of the race. So 4 positions total, yes.
Pierce took the lead on lap 32. Then he disappeared for a few laps. We're not sure what happened, if he lost his transponder. There's the crew there. They're happy. They was in their first pit crew challenge. They learned a lot. And Bobby Pierce, his first time here in a couple of years. I mean, he wanted to come here a year ago, and the Outlaws he was running, they were running that weekend. We couldn't make it back. He wanted to, and he's back, and he comes from 8th to win tonight. 3 different leaders of this race. And here he comes, Ben Shelton. Congratulations to the 2nd-generation driver out of Oakwood, Illinois.
Bobby Pierce won this race first back in 2017. He wins here tonight. He becomes the 8th driver in 33 runnings this event. Of course, Mother Nature got the facility 1 year, but he becomes the 8th driver to win multiple times. His 25th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series feature win. His first of the year, his first since the Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora last October, and his 14th win overall, current point leader of the World of Outlaws, and with Flow Racing Night in America. This win tonight worth $75,000 for the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Longhorn Vic Hill powered low voltage solutions. Rio Grande Way Services number 32 will be climbing out in Lucas Oil Victory Lane, the 7th different Wheatland feature winner of the year with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Race fans, your winner of the Show Me 100, Bobby Pierce. Sunoco checkered flag in hand. The confetti flies on a cool evening in Wheatland, Missouri, where the Land of Lincoln claims a $75,000 payday. He's going to grab some water and step in front of this hot rod. He's going to get him a drink. He had to work for that one. Bobby, I think the water probably says it all, man. How vigorous was that cushion here tonight? Well, hold on. Somebody wants to congratulate you. Bob Pierce out here gives his son a big hug. And a special father and son moment. How tough?
Cutoff sleeve.
And yeah, it was we got to get a cutoff sleeve fire suit that's still to regulation. How tough was the cushion tonight?
It was tough. You know how this track with the wall is, it doesn't really build a cushion on the track. It just kind of had a little rut there. You kind of set your right side tires in, and sometimes it'd grab it good and you'd go. Sometimes it'd toss you, and sometimes it'd make you loose, like you sat on top of it. So it was tricky to hit every lap, but that's how this track's been all weekend. It's very, very finesse racetrack. Like, you can lose a lot of ground with one mistake like that. So really, really fun track. I was waiting for that racetrack all weekend, and I know with the possibility of rain, they were taking it easy with track prep, and man, that was a lot of fun. So congrats to JD on second, Hudson third. It was a fun race.
8th to the lead. Did you think you had a car that could win tonight based on the past 2 nights? Congratulations from Jason Durham. Did you think you had a car that could win from 8th?
Did any of you guys think we'd win tonight? I don't think so. We were all pretty in the dumps. I mean, I think I had some believers in my team, but I know I was pretty negative. We sucked all weekend. We were like 5, 6 tenths off in qualifying, heat race. Just couldn't hit on anything, and I think the track really came around. You could really drive it in different lines. That's kind of what I was waiting on, but I got to give a huge thanks to the guys. They worked their butts off all week. This win goes out to all of them. We got my dad, my mom, Abby. We got Justin, Austin, Darian, Jeff Lika. Shout out Peyton Looney. Shout out Chris Ferguson.
Hey, I tell you what, this race has been a love-hate thing for you. You've won this thing back in 17. You've also come from the non-qualifier to the lead to a flat tire. What does Lucas Oil Speedway in the grand scheme of things, the Show Me 100, mean to the Pierce family?
Oh man, yeah, lots of history. I was actually watching was 1993 the first Show Me? Okay, so I was watching the first Show Me on the way here this weekend. I don't know why I was digging through some old DVDs. I found like some old race clips of my dad, and I was watching that, and I told him, I was like, man, I couldn't really see anything. The cameras weren't very good back then, but I did watch it, and that just goes to show the history this thing has, and for it to move to, this is an awesome facility, and the racetrack was awesome tonight. I know a lot of times people go, both ways on that. Oh, awesome facility, racetrack, but tonight it was badass, man. So it's great that this pays $75,000 to win now. I mean, this race, I remember a few years back it was still, I think, 30, and so to see it become to this, I just hats off to Lucas Oil, everyone with them, and everyone with the racetrack that puts this deal on, all these fans for supporting us. Thank you a lot. I got to thank my sponsors before I go. Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transport, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Rio Grande Waste Services, Longhorn, Bilstein, Vic Hill, Swift Springs, VP Fuels, Ted Brown, Carnegie Towing Auto Repair, Fast One Speed Shop, Collins Brothers Towing, American Racing Wheels, everyone, just a huge thank you.
$75,000 now, a 2-time Show Me 100 champion, Bobby Pierce, atop the Big River Steel podium. DJ James, I'm going to send it up to you, and then we'll catch up with second and third.
All right, Ben, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bobby Pierce getting handled the hardware down there. I see Austin, him, and Jeff Lika and the crew getting ready to get their pictures taken with him, and Ben is just about to catch up with a driver that, James, he spent a lot of time out front here. He never ran outside of the 3rd position, and it's Superman Jonathan Davenport is he's going to finish 2nd here tonight, but again, that is not going to tell the entire story as Superman Jonathan Davenport is caught up with Ben Schelt.
2nd on the Big River Steel podium, Jonathan Davenport. JD, I feel like you used every inch of this racetrack here tonight. We talk about it all the time, but how tough was it to lead here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway?
Yeah, it was really tough. The line moved a lot there until the very end. Hats off to the track prep crew. I mean, this is Lucas Oil Speedway. It's awesome whenever it moves around like that. I wish it would have just made that last change and would have pushed that cushion over the top. Because obviously, I didn't set up to run around the cushion. Everybody knows I'm kind of middle to the bottom, and we really made big gains today. Like I said last night, I could finally tighten the car back up because I got the steering back. And so once we could, when we could run around the middle to the bottom, we was really, really good there. And then once Bobby slid me there, I was kind of messing with the lap cars a little bit, not trying to be super aggressive, but try to move through them as quickly as I could. And then he got rolling on the top really good, like we always know he does. But then just the lap cars, they would just race me so hard. As soon as he would clear them, they would just move right back up and right back behind him, and then I would be right there, so that would mess me up through that corner, and then I couldn't get a good leave through that exit. And then so I just have to either try to slide them and then couldn't leave the next corner. But just the way it goes. Bobby done a good job. Hudson done a good job. My guys done an awesome job. I just should have been a little bit more aggressive early on the lap traffic.
$250,000 title later in the year. Nights like tonight matter. What about the consistency for this 49 team?
Yeah, they really matter, but wins matter too. The way the bonus points work, we're way behind Ricky in wins, and this one's going to hurt, especially for the bonus points. And then, there's a big drop in first to second. I really feel like we had a winning race car there, but Bobby just got up on the wheel and done a good job. But like I said, thanks to my guys once again. They've done a great job. Thanks to Nutrient Ag Solutions. Steve's here. This is kind of his home race almost. I know he does a lot for Lucas Oil Speedway in this event. Dynagrow Seed, AFC Warranty, Longhorn Chassis, Bilstein Shocks, Longhorn Dynamics, VP Fuels, Mark Ford. Tam sent me a message earlier and told me good luck, so thanks for that. Chris Davis does an amazing job around here. He does a lot for everybody, Midwest Sheet Metal. Thank him especially, and all of our other sponsors. Couldn't do it without none of them.
Race fans, Jonathan Davenport second here tonight, a year after winning this event. Hudson O'Neal comes home third on the Big River Steel podium. Huddy, you were able to lead early, but man, it seemed like as the race went on, you really had your hands full off of turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. We just missed it a little bit. Just weren't really prepared for the way the racetrack, we even thought it was going to slow down way more, so we weren't real concerned about maybe freeing back up a little bit for the mud. We thought it was going to get slow and kind of like it had the first 2 nights. So just missed it a little bit. All in all, man, it was a great race. It turned out to be an awesome racetrack, and congrats to Bobby and JD on a podium, and everything. We had a great week. We can't hang our heads over a third. Run third with these guys is an accomplishment, and especially after the week we've had with 2 wins. And we'll take it. Thank you to everybody, all my guys, Jason, Kyle, Riley, my fiance Tessa, and all my family, and everybody on this race car, Wheeler Metals, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Merrill Bonding, Big River Steel, O'Neal Salvage and Recycling, WR1 Sim Chassis, Westside Tractor Sales, Bilstein Shocks, Midwest Sheet Metal, Chris Davis, Longhorn Chassis, Bob and Tammy Burton, USSSA Fast Pitch, everybody that's a part of this deal, Snowco Race Fuels, and we'll move on and see if we can't try and keep the ball rolling here for over the next few weeks in Eldor.
Hudson O'Neal, he rounds out the Big River Steel podium. James DJ, another heck of a race here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Yeah, it sure was. Several different leaders in this one. James, let's go ahead and take a look at the race recap.
Yeah, I about ran out of ink in my pen there for a while, right? As I like to say. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the rookies.
Yeah.
The rookies in the Lucas Oil Series finished 10th, 11th, and 12th tonight. McIntosh, Ebert, and Hilsebeck. Tip of the cap to those 3 gentlemen.
That's good stuff. Real good stuff. This race itself was good stuff as well. As I think you said it best, the final box score might show 5 official lead changes, but man, oh man, that only tells part of the story. And I'll be honest, maybe one of the better Show Me 100s we've had in recent memory.
No question about it. O'Neal led the first 19 laps. JD took the lead on lap 20, and he led until O'Neal got the lead back on that restart on lap 45. O'Neal led until lap 48. Davenport back in front. He leads until lap 69 when Pierce goes back in front and appears and reappears on the scoring monitor.
Yes, absolutely. As that was the pass right there by the 32 of Bobby Pierce. And Davenport kept pace with him. He got kind of like an accordion, close in and he expand, close in and expand. But when all was said and done, it was the smooth operator Bobby Pierce winning the Show Me 100 for the 2nd time in his career. To the victor go the spoils as he celebrates in victory lane and $75,000 richer. And Ben Shelton, that is a wrap on a highly entertaining 33rd running of this prestigious race.
Yeah, I feel like we took at least 2 out of 3 from Mother Nature this weekend, and Hudson had a great weekend. He won on Thursday and Friday. Tonight, Bobby Pierce, man, you get that kind of cushion. You heard Davenport say, hope it goes away. My big takeaway is this racetrack was maybe the best I've seen it for 3 nights of action ever here. Very excited to come back for the Diamond Nationals later this year. And as we wrap things up, a few sprinkles starting to fall down here. Congrats, Bobby Pierce picking up a thrilling win at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Well, there you have it. Stealing one from Mother Nature. Sprinkles falling right now. It's
gonna rain all at once too, right now.
That's right. We got it in. Absolutely. So
most people say 100-lap races anymore, they're kind of ho-hum, kind of boring. That one was not, Dustin Jarrett.
It sure wasn't. Pyro going off, fans having fun, Hellraiser Jack's Pit Crew Challenge, and even a Dan Just sighting as well. We had a little bit of everything in this year's Show Me 100. It was the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, getting the win. LucasDirt.com for all of the latest information on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And for those of you watching at home on Flow Racing, just about ready to take the green flag at Fairbury Speedway with the Mars Late Model Series. You see that on the bottom of the screen. So if you've been watching this, 49 entries tonight at Fairbury for the Mars Late Model Series. We'd encourage you to flip over and check that out. On behalf of Ben Shelton and James Essex, this is Dustin Jarrett signing off, saying thank you and good night.